to Minding Your Business, the show for entrepreneurs. I'm your host, June Middleton. We've got a really terrific show for you this evening. We have a very well-known, accomplished, outstanding composer who is just very talented. When I heard her music, I knew she has to be on the show. Nailah Nombeko. She's a native New Yorker, a graduate of the School of Music and Art and Manhattan School of Music and Mannes College of Music also, where she got her bachelor's and master's degree in music. Her music is unique, it's different, and it's fascinating, and you're going to enjoy hearing it. She also has with her two top outstanding performers who are going to play her music for you. We have soprano Adrienne and Dunn, and violinist Vita Wallace, and they are just also two top performers who have performed around the country and I believe outside of the country as well. So Vita Wallace and Adrienne will be performing Nailah's music, and Nailah, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I am really thrilled. We went through a bit of going back and forth to get you here, but I'm glad it has finally happened.
I'm glad it will.
And I want very much for our viewers to hear about you, your background, all the very impressive things that you've done. But first, we want to hear some of your music. So, if you would, please, tell us what Adrienne and Vita are going to perform first.
Well, the first section of the Indian Woman's Death Song they'll be performing, and it's about an Indian woman who's in despair because her husband left her for another woman. And yes, I know. And she took her children into a canoe and rowed it down the Mississippi River toward a cataract. And while she's rowing, people can actually hear her singing this death song from the shore.
Now, this is based on a poem.
A poem, yes. Yes, by Felicia Hemans. Yes. And it kind of mirrors her life because her father left her mother as well, so that it's that kind of thing.
Well, this is terrific and wonderful, and we're looking forward to hearing it. So I am very pleased to present to you Adrienne and Vita.
beating heart, and lifted her sweet voice that rose a while above the sound of the water.
for your music. You're just, beautiful, beautiful voice, and I love your playing.
Thank you.
There are a lot of very quick notes, and I mean, it's such a sad, really, poem, but you bring it alive with almost, how would you describe those notes?
Sixteenths, I wanted to have it where it was moving sixteenths. I wanted to capture the anger in her voice, the anger that she was feeling from being betrayed, and then the constant moving of rowing boat and all that, and just moving.
And you get the feeling of the water as well.
Yeah.
That's very impressive. But how long have you been composing?
Well, I started composing when I was 5.
Oh, stop.
Yep. I started when I was 5. Yeah, I wrote my first piece when I was 5, and I used it as an entrance
most
exam.
children aren't potty trained, and you're composing music at
While
age
I was
5.
playing around and acting silly and doing all kinds of other things.
Oh,
Yeah.
Now, had you been studying music at all, or?
I started studying at 5, but my mom is a musician.
Piano?
Yeah, piano. But my mom is a musician.
Oh, what instrument does she play?
Piano. Yeah, so it actually starts with my grandmother, because she came to New York and she studied with Frank Damrosch at the Institute of Musical Art. So once she came here, she studied with him, then she went back to Bermuda. And she taught for many years. And
Now, is that home for your
my mom,
mother?
Yeah, yeah. So that's like, she was the foundation for me starting in music.
Because you have an unusual name. I mean, you're a native New Yorker.
Yeah.
Nailah, Nombeko.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not a typical
common
New York name.
No, I know.
But tell us something about the background of your name.
Well, Nailah means one who will succeed.
Okay.
Yeah, so I wanted
that
to.
Works for me.
Yeah, I know. So I wanted to connect with that energy. I said, I like that name. I like what it means. And then Nombeko means respect. So I said, I think I want to put that together. And I like the energy behind it. So.
Oh, that is just absolutely wonderful. And where has your music been performed, and how long? I mean, when did you discover that you were a composer and that this is really what you wanted to do?
Yeah, that's interesting. 'Cause like I said, I started at 5, and then I stopped for a while. I stopped for many years.
Until you were 7?
No. I stopped and I picked it up many years later, and I'd written all these pieces. And
did you know how to write music at that
well,
age?
the thing is, just instinctively, I would go to the piano as a child. I would make up pieces.
So you were playing by ear,
yeah,
really?
I was definitely playing by ear. I played songs on the radio, commercials, stuff like that. And then I actually studied formally, So then I started at Manhattan School of Music, preparatory division. So and I used the piece that I wrote as the audition, one of my audition pieces. So that's how that started. So I was writing for a while as a child, and then I stopped, and then I went back as an adult, and I had a lot of pieces, and a couple of them I actually gave to Vita and Ishmael Wallace of the Orfeo Duo. And
yes, we're going to hear about that duo.
Yeah, and they had a call for scores, and I said, well, let me see if I'll give them some of my pieces, and they liked them, and they wanted to perform them. So then that kind of started me back writing again. Yeah.
Well, I know one of the pieces that I heard perform at a concert that I went to see for the New York Women Composers Group. Yeah. It was just absolutely it was very different, and it was very exciting, and I loved it, really. So, I mean, it was just great. You definitely have a great talent for your music, and you bring it alive and put a lot of emotion as well into it. So that's just absolutely wonderful. And are you doing something in Italy or in the UK with your music, or is it being performed, or?
Yeah,
tell us about that.
Yeah, actually, there's this women's festival called Musrulo, and they have something where they advertise women's music. They had a call for scores, and it's a festival of contemporary music. So some of it is sound artists, some composers, and for that festival, I had some field recordings that I put together, because he also wanted field recordings. So I had some field recordings that I put together as on top of some string line that I added. So I created a kind of a soundscape for the festival. And they're having it in the Women's Museum in Milan, Italy, so at their listening station.
Now, what is the largest range of instruments that you've scored in your music pieces, or have you just written the compositions and had them scored by someone else? I mean, have you scored for an orchestra? Or?
Not for an orchestra. At least not yet.
It's coming.
Yeah, it's coming. No, but for quartet.
Okay.
For quartet, and also I've written anthems for choir, a piano quartet. Yeah,
really?
Yeah, and then also this is more of an ensemble choir. So I did some anthems as well.
Oh, gee, and speaking of choir, we have someone here that you brought with you who has sung with a choir.
Or two, yes.
Adrienne, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You have a beautiful voice.
Thank you.
Absolutely beautiful. And have you sung with the choir of St. Patrick's Cathedral?
Yeah, it's one of my jobs.
Oh, gee, what a hardship to have a job like that.
Yeah, it's
How
it's
long
one of
have you
my
been
best
doing
jobs.
that?
Since 2004.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
So 9 years now.
And you're a soloist.
Yeah, I'm a section leader and a soloist. So.
Oh my gosh, that is so impressive. Well, tell us something about your background. I mean, are you a New Yorker?
No, I'm originally from California, San Francisco Bay Area, and I moved here to go to grad school 11 years ago.
What, Manhattan School of Music?
Yeah.
And
then I
you forgot your way back home.
I forgot my way back home, right? Exactly.
It's so often the other way around, because it can be so tantalizing and mesmerizing being out in California, but you came here to New York.
Came here to sing. When I was back in California, I was still fairly young, but musical opportunities aren't like they are here. So I've stuck around, made a living out here.
That's very unusual. It's not easy to make a living performing as musicians, composers, which you are certainly all aware of. And to be able to do that is very, very impressive.
Thank you. Yeah,
It really
it's a joy.
is. Well, tell us something. Wait a second. Did you sing for the Pope at one time?
Yeah, when he came to
Come
Yankee
on,
Stadium.
why are you holding these things back? Let's hear about it.
Well, we got to sing for the Pope when he came here, back at the old Yankee Stadium right before they tore
he was
it down.
at the Yankee Stadium. You performed in the Yankee Stadium?
Yeah, I got to sing Beethoven's Ninth in front of 60,000 people. And,
a small crowd.
Very small crowd, and yeah, it was great. It was quite an experience. I've never sung in such a large outdoor space like that.
What was the sound like?
I couldn't hear anything. I just hoped it went okay.
Oh my gosh. And did you get to meet him and talk to the Pope?
I didn't get to meet him. Beforehand, he came to St. Patrick's Cathedral, and we did a mass with him and all of the priests in the whole archdiocese. And I did get to sing another solo for that. That was televised as well. A Mozart piece. And so I got fairly close to him, but I didn't get a chance to meet him, no.
Oh my gosh. Well, security would have something to say about getting close to him.
Yes.
I'm sure. And at this point, you also debuted as a soprano soloist, where? At Lincoln Center?
Yeah. I also sing with the National Chorale, and that's a professional chorus that sings at Lincoln Center 3 or 4 times a year. And I got to sing some soprano solos on a program a couple of years ago. And that was at Carnegie Hall, actually. We did the 40th anniversary of the chorus, and I got to sing some solos at Carnegie Hall. And so...
You've just been having a great time.
Yeah.
But you went from there to Chelsea Piers? How does that work?
Well, I've been working with children since I was 14. Almost 20 years ago, and
we didn't hear that. What was that, like 5 years ago?
And so teaching children has always come fairly naturally for me. And so to supplement, living here, I am the music director there. And so I teach
my
children
gosh.
music
Now,
as well.
your husband is also a musician. He's a percussionist.
Yeah. And
Have
he
you-
records. He records me.
Timpani.
No, more like general percussion. But yeah, he has played timpani before.
Does he have his own group or?
No. Now he's more of a. That's more of like a hobby now.
Oh, okay. All right.
But yeah,
all
we
right.
did meet in music school.
Oh, gee. Well, it's just wonderful to have you here and for you to be accompanied by such a talented and skilled and outstanding violinist
Yes.
as you are,
It's a
Vita.
pleasure to play with you.
Thank you.
Tell us, welcome to the show. I'm just
Thank
delighted to have you here. And I want to hear about your Orfeo, what is it, Orfeo or Orfeo duo that you play with your brother Ishmael?
That's right. We started playing together when we were children, and we formed the Orfeo duo when I was 9. And we've been touring and recording for many years now. But
Oh, come on,
one
many
of the
years.
things
You're not that old, for heaven's sakes. What, you started also at age 5?
I started the piano when I was 4 and the violin when I was 6. Yeah. But the main thing that we do now is that we have a concert series in Morningside Heights and West Harlem.
Do you really?
It's called What a Neighborhood, and it celebrates the creative spirit in the neighborhood, primarily the music of living local composers.
Now, you've played some of your music they
Yeah.
have
That's
played
right.
there.
Yes.
That's
So
how
tell
we
us,
met.
Tell us about this. What do you train young people there, or you just perform music, or
Yeah,
what
so
is
we-
the experience like?
We do concerts where we're featuring accomplished composers like Nailah, and then we also do a lot of composition and improvisation workshops for children and people of all ages.
And do the children perform? Are they getting trained in any of the music as well, or just?
We don't teach performance, but we often help them to write pieces, and then we perform their pieces or have other professional musicians perform their pieces on our concerts.
Oh, that sounds so exciting. I'd like to have perhaps something that we can do here with What a Neighborhood here on the show.
That would be great.
That would,
Yeah.
yeah.
Nailah has gotten very involved with What a Neighborhood. She's on the
Well,
board
you're
of
on the board.
directors.
Yes.
Oh, well, then
Yeah.
you must come and bring some of the children and some of the people from the neighborhood that can come as the audience or the participants, and let's do on the show what you actually do when you are doing this in the neighborhood.
Okay.
I think this would be a new experience for our audience and for our viewers, and I think they should know about things that are going on for musicians like yourselves and what you're doing. So, how do you get? It seems like you're all doing a lot. Do you have agents? I mean, I know this is a foreign word for classical musicians in the most part, but at the same time, you do have someone who wants to promote you. How do you promote yourselves?
Word of mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to get out there and make connections, network, really meet people. That's the big thing. Do people know you're there? You know?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the major thing. You could be doing something quietly that's great and nobody knows about it. So
Right.
you have to be networking, joining organizations, constantly meeting people.
Well, now you're a member of the New York
yeah.
Women Composers,
Yeah.
and this is in fact Rain Worthington,
Yeah.
who's the head of that
Introduced-
organization, introduced us,
Yeah.
which is really terrific. So we are closing in on time, believe it or not, and there's just so much more that I wanted to talk to you about, but you'll be coming back, so we'll have time to discuss more. And in the time that we have left, I would just like to thank you for being here. Thank you so much.
It's our pleasure.
And I also want to say thank you to our crew, Deshaun and Patrick and Ed, my son, who's the director, and of course a very special thanks to Rich of Manhattan Neighborhood Network for making this show possible. You have been watching Minding Your Business, the show for incredible incredible, talented entrepreneurs, musical entrepreneurs, as well as entrepreneurs from just about every area of business that you can imagine. You've been watching Minding Your Business. I'm your host, June Middleton. You must come back and join us again so that you can appreciate and just experience some of these wonderful entrepreneurs that we have on the show. But in closing, what I'd like to do is you have a second part to this piece that you did. So please tell us what it is.
Yes, in the second part, it deals more with her feelings of betrayal. So you'll get a sense of the feelings of loss, and also anger, because he's moved on. So her husband has moved on. He's no longer thinking about her. She's been replaced. So you'll definitely get a sense of the anger in her voice, and she feels that she can't live without him. So you'll feel an overwhelming sense of anguish, and then finally she just enters the place where there's no more weeping. So
Gee,
that's
it's too bad we weren't able to talk to her before all this happened. But at any rate, it's a beautiful poem, and you put beautiful music to it. So I'd like to close our show by having your wonderful musicians play your wonderful composition that you put to this poem. Adrienne, Vita, please.
Swiftly to the spirit land, thou mighty stream and free, Father of ancient waters, roll and bear our lives to thee. Thou weary bird that storms have tossed, would seek the sunshine's calm, and the deer that hath the arrow's hurt flies to the woods of spoke of other days is heart within his breast.